right, John, thank you for joining me on Beer with a CFO. We've got John Araki, who's the CFO of RecoveryOne. I'm over here with a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and you've got the IPA Torpedo.
Yep.
Nice, okay. Who doesn't love an IPA in the afternoon, especially being a busy VC-backed CFO? So thank you for joining me, John.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. John, again, is with RecoveryOne. That's a technology-delivered musculoskeletal, or an MSK solution. They have 55 employees and are backed by 7 Wire Ventures. So venture-backed CFOs, John, this year certainly face unique challenges. We've seen a 23% decline in VC funding this year. Raising capital is not easy. So keeping an eye on cash burn, your cash burn rate, it's more important than ever, right? What business insights are helpful during an uncertain economic climate?
Yeah, so I mean, just take your pick, Bridget. I mean, I think in certain environments, companies get very focused on 1 or 2 particular metrics. We've certainly been in an environment, at least in VC-backed early stage companies, where growth has been the North Star, right? Certainly that is changed with the capital markets environment and the economy and all those things. So, I think a variety of insights are important. I think one of the challenges for CFOs at this point is, if you believe that a CFO's job is to be always worried about where the next capital is going to come from, if you're at that stage of a company, one of the things that's super important is to understand what it is, or what are the things that you're going to need to distinguish about your company that's going to set you apart from some others in this challenging capital raising environment. I think we've certainly been in a point where growth has been the number one attractive thing about a company. But as we've gone through these shifts in the markets, it appears that capital is still out there, but the types of companies for whom it is available is changing. And so things, understanding what those things, that when the time comes for you to raise capital, what kinds of metrics are those VCs and other investors going to be looking for in order for you to be, the one receiving the checks, I think is the most important thing. And what I've learned, I just came back from a conference in our industry, which is digital health, more or less, and spoke to a lot of VC investors. And one of the major themes I heard was operating fundamentals are going to become very important. So things like, which maybe in the last couple of years have not been the most important operating metrics, things such as margin and EBITDA and things that don't always speak to growth, but speak to your operating fundamentals and discipline, and when you might become cash flow positive, fundamental business metrics that are once again coming to the forefront of what I think is going to make you attractive to capital, at least through the next, who knows, year, 18 months, whatever the case may be. So I think those things are very important.
No, thank you. That's great advice to provide to our audience. So this is kind of a unique conversation because I mentioned before that you're one of the first clients that I've interviewed. You are a Consero client, and we've done a lot of interviews with CFOs, but you are the first client that we've interviewed. So thank you for coming to the table. And so I'm curious, with the metrics that you're speaking to, how does Consero help you pull those metrics together?
Well, I mean, I will unabashedly go to the wall for you folks and tell you that Consero has, our experience with you has been tremendous from the very beginning. You guys came on board about 2 months after I joined, and we've essentially, became our accounting department and our finance team from the very beginning, and allowed us to scale in a way that makes sense for a company. I think we were 14 people when we brought you on board, and now we're 50 some odd number of employees. And you've continued to make a tremendous amount of sense for us, and have been a tremendous value to us, I think. But certainly, all those things, that margin and our ability to manage it in a way that's proactive has certainly helped. You have an FP&A team that helps us do that in an intelligible way, giving us insight into what the cost drivers are, I think has been tremendously useful to us. And then, not having to worry about things such as simple accounting things that a good controller might do, which is to make sure expenses are being categorized correctly and seamlessly and in a way that I am confident, so that I don't have to, worry if things are showing up in the wrong parts of the P&L that don't make sense. I just, those bread and butter accounting functions, if you have confidence in them, it's sort of the backbone to everything you do as a CFO, so I think, yeah.
And certainly puts you in a good place if you were to seek additional funding, having books that are audit ready and, closed every month in a efficient timeline, puts you in a good place to get in front of investors.
Yeah, completely. It will make your finance team of 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever you have at a small VC-backed company, will make your finance function look professional, really. I mean, that's what it does for you. And, we have a 3-statement forecast model, which aligns with the reporting that you guys do for us. So like I said, it's been an invaluable tool for us to grow the business to the point that we have so far.
Wonderful. Well, great conversation, John. Thank you for joining me on Beer with the CFO. Great to talk with you. And we'll talk with everyone again on the next episode of Beer with the CFO. Thanks, John.
Okay. Thank you. Cheers, Bridget.
Cheers.